darn it. I've been dealing with that darn step on that forklift. That thing has got to go. I've been dealing with that for 2 years, and it's fine if you got a skid steer, but on the compact tractor, it just gets in the way. It sticks out there, and you can't get in close to anything. Yeah, that step on that forklift frame just doesn't allow me to get up close to and into tight spots like this. I'm trying to get in here and pick this basket up. I'm rubbing on this one, and that step is of no use to me. If you got a skid steer, it's a natural step to have to get up into the cab, but on this thing, it needs to go. Hey everyone, welcome back to Old Guy Firewood. You know, I'm a jack of all trades, master of none, and I enjoy obviously firewood and cutting and chainsaws and tractors and working with tools and woodworking and metalworking. I've got a couple welders, and I had an acetylene torch kit at one time, but the problem was that I didn't use it enough, and it would sit around and the hose would get brittle, and I got rid of that. So, but from time to time I have a need to cut some metal, and I can do it with a cutting wheel or Sawzall or a number of different ways. But that step on that forklift frame has got to go. And Arccaptain, who sells welding and plasma cutting tools, approached me several months ago, and I did a review on one of their MIG welders, and a great machine for the money. And now they sent me, well, quite some time ago, they sent me a plasma cutter, and I just haven't gotten around to use it, to try it. But I've got a reason to now, and that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to hook that thing up. I'm going to show it to you. And I think after you see it and see what it will do and the price you can buy it for, I'd be very surprised if you don't turn this video off at the end and get online and order one. So come along with me and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Now this is the Arccaptain Cut 55 Pro Plasma Cutter. It's a lightweight unit, suitcase size, actually shoebox size, I guess. Very lightweight. It comes with a ground clamp, plasma cutting gun, air hose, and regulator, and a standard welder plug for 220 volts. And then it comes with an adapter that you can use this unit with 110 volts. It comes with a nice instruction manual. It's 55 amps and rated to cut, I believe, up to 3/4 of an inch steel. The assembly was really easy. The ground clamp plugs right in there. The gun and cable attaches, and it's all covered in the instruction manual. The gun itself has a little standoff metal piece there that you don't have to use, but that slides on that ceramic cover, and it allows you to just move on your workpiece, and it keeps a minor distance. There's a minimal distance between the tip of the nozzle and your workpiece. You don't have to use that. You can take that off and freehand it. You can actually touch and drag it. But I think I'm going to go ahead and try to use it with this. Let's go ahead and see what this thing will do. I want to take some various size pieces of scrap metal that I have around here and see if it'll cut through them. And we'll do that on 220 volts. And then when we're done with that, I'm going to go ahead and try the 110 volt function and see if it will cut some of the thinner metals, something that would be more common to what I typically use on a day-to-day basis, maybe a 1/4 inch or 3/16, something like that. So let me get it plugged in. The air hose, I've simply added a quick connect on the end here. Goes right into my air hose, and we'll hook this up, get it powered up, and get some scrap metal out here and see what it'll do. Okay, I've gone through my scrap metal bin, and I've gotten a pretty good selection of various thicknesses of metal here. Got some 1/8 inch angle iron, some 3/16 inch plate, 1/4 inch, 3/8 inch, and some 1/2 inch. And I'm going to go ahead and put them in this vise and see how this Arccaptain 55 cut does in cutting them. All right, I've got the cut 55 turned on. I've got it plugged into 240 volts, and at 240 volts it will go up to 55 amps. At 120 it'll only go to 35 amps, but we've got it at 240, 55 amps, and for 1/8 inch steel, I just don't think we're going to need that much. I'm going to crank it on down to about 40 amps. It's 40 amps, 240 volts. I've got the air pressure set at somewhere between 55 and 60 pounds. And let's go ahead and hook our ground up to this piece of 1/8 inch metal, and we'll see if we can cut it. Okay, I'm going to clamp this in here. I'm going to put another little piece of angle iron over the top here. It kind of uses a straight edge cutting guide. Let me clamp this down. Okay, got our ground clamp attached. I think we'll do that over on this side since that piece might fall off. And our torch is ready to go. Now let's see what we can get here. My hand just isn't as steady as it needs to be. Held a little bit right there, but that's because I was moving it too fast, I think. Yeah, definitely cut it. Tell you what, I'm going to crank it up a little higher and go on up to 50 amps. Let's see what happens here. It's pretty darn clean. I don't know if you can see that edge, but cut right through there pretty nice. Nice clean cut. 1/8, no problem. All right, let's see what 3/16 does. Clamp it in. Clamp this piece of angle iron on here as a cutting guide. Our ground clamp on, and I think I'll just go ahead and leave it here at 50 amps and see what it does. I just don't have steady movement with my hand. Yeah, at the start there, I didn't get the edge too good. 3/16, 50 amps, nice clean cut. All right, got the 1/4 inch stock in here now. Clamp that down. Again, I'm gonna use this as a cutting edge. Clamp that on there. The ground clamp on. I think I'm going to go ahead and crank it up to 55 amps since we're at 1/4 inch. Let's see what we can get here. Again, I think my movement has something to do with it. Moving a little bit too fast, maybe. It cut through. It's got a couple little places holding. Tell you what, I'm gonna move this and try it again, going a little bit slower. Wish I had something a little bit longer. Let me see what we can do. Okay, 1/4 inch. Let me slow down my movement just a little bit. Quarter inch. I'd call that a pretty clean cut. All right, let's move up to, let's see, 3/8. 3/8 inch, 55 amps, 60 PSI. It's cut all the way through, but I've got a couple places where just a little bit of holding metal. Again, moving a little bit too fast. My cut's good right to there, and I think I sped up a little bit. Technique, and I need to learn better. But let's see if we can't cut this off. A little safety tab over that trigger there. Hard to get my glove in there. And there it goes. Three-eighths inch. No problem. Now for the biggest I got, this 1/2 inch piece. And to be quite honest with you, I'm never going to be cutting anything this big, let alone anything bigger. Go ahead and clamp this piece of angle on here, give me a straight guide. Half-inch steel. Tell you what, if this thing cuts 1/2 inch steel, it's going to be able to do anything that I need to have it do. See if I can get my pace right here. I can see where speed of your movement is critical. Again, I'm not giving it time to clean out, I think. But it sure did cut it. Let's see what that cut edge looks like. Yeah, a little bit of slag here. Knocks right off with a chipping hammer. That's a pretty impressive cut right there, 1/2 inch steel. I said I'd go ahead and test it at 120 volts just to see if it would cut the typical size iron that I'm dealing with, which would be, you know, like 1/4 inch or less, 3/16. So I'm going to take this adapter, plug the 240 volt into here, the other end into 120 volts. We'll set it up and see how it does. All right, I've got it hooked up to 120 volts now. You can only go to 35 amps. You can dial it down from there, but you can't dial it any higher. So we're going to have it at 35 amps. I'm going to take a piece of, let's see what we got here. Some 3/16. Yeah, 3/16 would be about what I would typically be cutting. Let's see what we get. 120 volts. 3/16 inch steel. Moved it a little bit too fast there right at the end. But I think it's pretty well cut. Yeah, it is. A little bit of slag here. Go ahead and knock that off. Pretty nice clean cut. 120 volts, 3/16 inch. I'll tell you what, I'm gonna try 1/4 inch. All right, 1/4 inch steel, 120 volts, 35 amps. Let's see if we can get through this 1/4 inch. No problem. Again, if I use this thing more, I'm sure I'd get my speed of travel down a little bit better, and I wouldn't have those little pieces catching like that. Knock the slag off. Quarter-inch steel, 120 volts. Folks, that's pretty impressive. Well, folks, it's getting dark outside, and I'm not going to bother to bring the forks up here tonight and cut that step off. I'll go ahead and do that in the morning. I'll put out a little short video or maybe just a short and show you how that goes. But no doubt in my mind, after what I just did, that it'll cut that step off just like nothing. I think that step is probably 3/8 thick steel, and it should have no problem with it. But I'm really impressed with this Arccaptain Cut 50, and impressed with what it does on 120 volts too, as compared to the 240. But I'm going to leave a link to Arccaptain in the description of this video. And I'll post it right here too, so you can jot it down. But they're having a tremendous sale right now. And this Arccaptain, I think you can buy right now for about $269, which is unbelievable. A plasma cutter, the quality of this machine for that price. And they have a cut 50. This is the cut 55. They say for about $269. They have a cut 50 on sale for, I want to say, somewhere around $169, something like that. But if you're only cutting up to, say, 1/4 inch or 5/16, you know, the cut 50 would probably do it for you, well under $200. So I was real impressed with their MIG welder when I tested it out. I'm very impressed with this plasma cutter. I never thought I'd have a plasma cutter. I don't have a day-to-day need for one, but I've always wanted one. And at this price, it certainly is affordable. So take a look at that. Go to their website and check it out. Let me know what you think about it. And, you know, let me know in the comments if it's something that you think you'd like to have. I know as a hobbyist, I'm sure going to enjoy it. So thanks so much for watching, and as I always say, well, first of all, please press that like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Clifford's trying to play ball here with me at the same time. Okay, give me the ball. And please leave a comment down below. Share it with your friends if you have someone who you think would be interested in this sort of thing. But now, as I always say at the end of all my videos, keep moving. And keep moving. We'll see you on the next one. And look for a little short tomorrow when I cut that step off and see how that works out. So take care. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.